Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently fighting Ukraine and it's very awkward. There are a few things that we need to do. Thing number one, I noticed that our construction of these railways got put at the bottom of the queue. That was not intended. Let's move that up to the top of the queue. The second thing is that we have a lot of infantry out over here, and I'm actually going to grab 3 of these infantry and move them out into a new army. Then I'm going to grab 2 of these infantry, and I'm going to move them into that army as well. 2 of these infantry, move them in, and 3 of these infantry. So we're taking about half of the infantry that was previously up here, and this infantry is going to be moved down over here to help out on this front. We want it to start moving, but we don't want to change around the orders over here just yet. We will get to that. Now, are these the same army? Army 2, Army 5. Okay. These units here are part of this order, but they're going to be on this side. So I want them to be part of this army as well. That now means that this order is empty, and this order needs to be extended all the way down this front, like that. So that puts this at 22 out of 24. Oh, that's very convenient because we can actually just deploy these 2 early, and that makes this a full army. So that's neat. I mean, he doesn't have good stats, but sure, whatever. Okay, so we'll get these forces moving on the way down here. We're going to want to change this into an army group soon enough. I'm going to grab the army that is currently here. What army is this? This is that army, right. But what's up here? These guys. Okay, noted. So we're going to be on our way over here. This is now going to be 36 units instead of 24 assigned over on this side. We also have a bit of a gap here. I'm just going to grab 1 unit here and assign it to hold like that. Okay, so that should be relatively fine, and we're going to be on our way over. This is going to become a new army group over here, and we're going to want to have a field marshal for that. This guy will do, and he is going to be on offensive doctrine. Okay, so that sounds good. We've got forces on the way down here, but we don't really want to move things around too much until they start to arrive. So reinforcements are on the way. It's going to take them a little while to get there, and that's understood. Justification of conquering Crucial Coast is finished. We don't care. We don't need 4 divisions here. This is part of Army 1. So we don't need 4 divisions. I'm going to grab these 3, and they're going to move back down over here. Perfect. So that'll be fine, and we see that we're retreating over here. We definitely do not want to lose this. So we're going to head over this direction. What's the logistical situation over here? It's a bit dire right here because we actually don't have much of a connection through here. We need these to get finished up, and we need them to get finished fast. Okay. So we've got some reinforcements on the way over here, and we really need to hold this very, very badly. Get in here. We really need to hold this. Get in here. We need a lot of reinforcements here. Okay, we held it. Perfect. So that's good. We've got other areas that are significant problems. So now what we need to do is we need to reorg this front, and that could cause us some potential problems. But we need to have this army group now be frontlining here. Okay, so there's that. We need more forces over here. That's very, very clear at this moment. So I'm thinking about maybe looting more forces out of here. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to grab these 3. I'm going to grab these 4. I'm going to grab these 4 over here as well. That brings us up to 23 out of 24. And then I'm going to bring this as well. So that's a lot of forces on the way over to reinforce this. We have to hold this. We cannot lose this gap. That would be very, very bad if we lost this gap. To that end, we may want to start elevating our defensive structures up over here. Something kind of like this, basically inverting this order. we need to get the railway as the top priority. Okay, so we'll do something like that. We've got reinforcements on the way over here. We've got these guys. They're a bit cut off from supply at this moment. We need to motorize here for sure. Okay, so with these reinforcements on the way in, that should hopefully solidify this front without hopefully breaking this front. And I'd like to grab the tanks that are currently over here and assigned to this and tell them, just try to offensive line up to here, right? That's kind of a terrible offensive line. Why is it drawing like that? Oh, we have a couple down over here. Why don't you just see about pushing up to here for now? Okay, we'll see if that ends up being a thing. I kind of doubt it. But for now, we'll have that be. So that's fine for the moment. We're dug in on this side relatively well. We don't need to be worried about losing some of this territory out over here. But what we really do need to be worried about is losing the territory down this way. Luckily, our reinforcements are streaming in, and this rail line is now flowing. So we have supply flow down this direction. It's not ideal, but we do have supply flow down here. So we need to get the constructions of anything that is level 7 completed, because that means level 7 or level 8 here means that there are no land forts there, and land forts build faster like this. We don't want these repairs up here though. Don't bother working on repairs. Okay, so something kind of like this for the moment. There we go. Let's get these underway, and as we finish these up, let's put the 8s up top, and then let's put this here. We can move this 6 down to be with the rest of the 6s, and the 5 can move down as well, and we could just kind of keep it kind of like this, with the idea being that at least we have some levels of land fort coming into each of these locations. Okay, so this unit here was pushed back. That is problematic, to be sure. Let's see if we can take this back again, and I'm going to have these tanks launch an attack up over here. They may be trying to reinforce it. They are not. Okay. So this was definitely very unexpected, right? We could use these paratroopers to try to plug this gap, actually, and I'm going to. I'm going to send these paratroopers down over here, and they're going to offensive line. I'd love to cut off over here. I don't know that they're going to be very successful at that, but I'd love to see that happen. So let's send the paratroopers down to not be paratroopers, and that will be perfect. We've still got additional infantry on the way down here, so that's looking good. And I want to check in here now. Okay, I think overall we should be pretty decent on these land fort constructions. We definitely need land forts here and here. I'm going to build them there as well, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so that seems fine for now, and I'm not going to be worried about other land forts just yet. For the time being, that looks fine. So we have outdated equipment in production. This is mechanized 2. Right, we were going to switch to mechanized 3, and I still want to do that. So that's going to reset this. Of course, we're struggling with resources right now. This is not surprising. And we do need to just continue to hopefully make pushes down over this way. So that's underway. We are potentially going to be making gains over here. Yeah, we're pushing in over this way still. So that seems relatively fine. Our paratroopers are going to be arriving over here in the eventual times. And what we really need, of course, is to get some of these constructions finished up. But we now have basic levels of land fort all along here. So it's going to be way, way tougher for them to actually push us in these areas. I do want land fort levels here. So we'll get that going. And then we're going to want land fort levels here as well. So eventually our paratroopers will arrive over here. And you can see they're having a much harder time pushing into us now. That's good. We need to wrap up some of these other fronts. but we're moving pretty slowly over here right now. This supply hub should be motorized. There we go. And this supply hub is also struggling a little bit. Yeah, we need to upgrade this to level 5. This should get upgraded to level 5, and this should get upgraded to level 5. And then we should also just have a connection right here. Something like that. So we'll get that railway going. That will be fine. And that will dramatically improve our situation. Basic armored car just finished. That's okay. Mechanized 3 is done. I don't care about any of this upgrade right now. This is fine. We can grab this as well. And what else are we interested in here? Well, we could grab Recon Company. That'll be okay. Cool. So our paratroopers have arrived down here now. And they should be hopefully a little capable of holding this. How's that going to go? Very poorly indeed. Okay. So that's noted. Our paratroopers are going to struggle here. This is a weak point for us. And the question is, what do we want to do about that? For now, I'm quite content with everything else that's going on over here. Maybe we should just dig in like this. Infrastructure is also a issue out over here. We're going to want to get that infrastructure going, for sure. That'll get us a lot more supply down over this way. So that's fine. We can have that going for now. It's going to take some time, but that's absolutely okay. Cool. So this construction is proceeding, and we're already not receiving a bunch of our traded goods. That's understood. I'm going to move our ships down to the absolute bottom here. They're not a priority in the slightest. So we're going to set them down over here. Because we want to repurpose this steel elsewhere, for sure. So that'll hop on down like that. That's fine. So that repurposes our steel nicely, and everything is getting at least some steel flow except for support equipment, which we should have plenty of support equipment in stock. Okay, so that seems fine for now. As far as this up here goes, this is all stalled out, and that's exactly what we want to see. Yeah, that's exactly correct. So we just finished up fuel refining. Let's grab MPs. That'll be okay. And let's also grab maintenance company. There we go. This is relatively stalled out as well, which is exactly what we want to see here. But we do still need to get our hands on some additional fort levels out over this way. But we're actually making good progress on that. Yeah, this seems good. So I'm not actually that concerned about our fort levels right now. For the moment, I want to get all of this completed. That is a very high priority indeed. I'm concerned about this situation, though. No doubt about that. I'm very concerned about it. So that's noted. We'll keep an eye on that situation for the moment. As far as pushing in down here goes, we've actually pushed them out, it looks like. At least for now. They might be reinforcing it. Yeah, they are. But they didn't get there in time. So we've pushed them out of here. That's great. We're glad to see that we're making gains in Africa. If we can get them pushed out of Africa, this war is basically over, is the thing. Because that means then that we can focus entirely on this front over here. And that should not be a problem at all. That should be absolutely fine. So for the moment, this is looking pretty okay. If we could encircle over here, that would be really good too. What do we think the odds of that are? Pretty low, I think. But it might be something worth trying. Okay, checking in here. Yeah, we're in a much better state logistically now. That's excellent. We'd really like to take this back. They have 7 divisions that they parked there for now, and that's understood. For the time being, I'm not too upset about that. Now, this front over here, I'm absolutely fine with letting this stall out. If we can just buy time here. We're making gains in Africa, and we're digging in further. If we can get our dig in completed, that's going to be huge. We're also going to be wanting to put in some additional anti-air down over here, but for the moment, we just don't have capacity for that. Okay, so I have 9 divisions here. That's understood. Where are we moving here? Hang on. Are we going to get this? That's huge if we get this. Hard commit. They're moving reinforcements in. We were like 1 hour away from getting here. Can we get this still? Yes, we got it. Okay. So, this is a big deal because this is a very useful point for us. Unfortunately, we'll have to pull some divisions from here. So I'm going to grab these 3 divisions, and they're going to get pulled over to here. We're going to need to work on building land forts here as a high priority. And then the idea here is that we're going to be able to seize opportunities to come here, here, or here. Any of those would be very bad for them. Now, we'd like to get here, ultimately. But we'll see how that ends up going. So we've got some forces moving around over here. This is wide open for them, but they don't seem interested in taking it. So there's that. I'm going to deploy 2 additional infantry units, and they are going to come down and join the paratroopers down here. We need additional divisions holding this. So they're going to come on down and reinforce that. So that sounds good for now. And as far as this push over here goes, the question is this push dead? Maybe. I'm thinking about removing Army 8 from here and removing that attack order for now. And then Army 8 would head over this direction and would all pile into here, with the idea being offensive lining to here, like this. Approximately. It's a little awkward, but like this. If we can do that, then we split this into 2 fronts, and this is no longer a unified front for them. That's a huge deal for us. We would very much like to do that, because that's going to cut into their supply flow pretty significantly. And we don't really have the forces to be able to attack on this side right now. But I want to move our tanks on over here, and yeah, I think this is going to be theoretically a very big deal for us, if we can take this. So our tanks are on the way, and they will start attacking over here relatively soon. We can see they're shifting a lot of forces through this gap, and that's not surprising. Let's move this armored division over. So that'll be fine. That'll reinforce us down here. We're currently attacking right here, and this is a fantastic attack. Assist this. I want everyone over here to assist this as well. Push them out of here. This would be huge if we could take this back. So for now, that looks great. And we're just kind of stopping on this push for the moment, because this is a much more important push if we can cut this off. And taking this is very impactful as well. So this unit is from Army 1. It can go back down over here at this moment. We no longer need this order. Okay, so these guys are, I believe, on their way in. Who is walking in here? Okay, we do have a unit on the way in. Beautiful. So we're going to take Butembo, and there's a couple of reasons why this is such an important place for us to take. Reason number 1 is it's a victory point and a supply hub. Reason number 2 is it's a choke point. And that, of course, means we want to build land forts here. Now, we've got our forces on the way in here. No, this army is supposed to stay right here. Get over here. Okay, so they're on their way in. Hopefully they get there in time. They did not, but they got it taken back. Okay, so that's fine. Now we want to work on land forts here again. And they're heading back up over here. No. You're supposed to be here. And that stops their movement order. Perfect. Incredible. Just what we always wanted. Now they have to start moving again. But luckily, this tank held the line this time. So it's all good. Okay. So we're attacking out over this direction, and these attacks are kind of mediocre. This is not necessarily shocking, but what we really want to do at this moment is, well, A, we want to get some defenses here, right? That's a very big deal. Defenses here are kind of irrelevant. I don't actually care all that much. How are things looking out this direction? It looks like we've gained a little bit of ground over here, maybe, but I don't really care. That's not all that relevant at this moment. We've got Ukraine at a standstill, and that is incredibly important. So what we need to do right now is we need to just continue to pressure them right in this gap. So I want to grab these guys and tell them that they are trying to offensive line up to this river, like this. I'm also going to give them a commander. There we go. So that'll be fine. We'll see if they're able to actually do it. It looks like they are. This is actually enormous. This is insane. Hang on. I didn't expect that to work. We need to attack here to stall these. We need to keep attacking, keep stalling. They still managed to get there because we stopped our attack. Please keep attacking. Yes, I know they're reinforcing that. It's fine. Where are we? Okay, we're close. We got it. Okay. So we're pushed in over here now, and they're trying to reinforce over this direction. That's absolutely understood. The first thing that we need to do is we need to build land forts here. Top priority. Second thing we need to do is hold this position. That's the secondary priority. The third thing we need to do is we need to take Kampala. The question is, can we get there in time? Again, if we take this, this is unspeakably huge because this cuts these guys off from these guys. It essentially divides their army in half. That's just an absolutely wild thing. Okay, so they're moving reinforcements in here. We need to keep attacking here. Keep stalling. Assist this attack. Okay. We're so close here. Help out with this. We need this to be an attack assist at this moment. Did we have a unit of paratroopers get stack wiped? Apparently we did. Okay. That's awkward. So a bunch of reinforcements came in here. Okay. That's unfortunate. I'm not actually sure how they got there. They might have come this way, but I didn't notice if they did. They might have come this way, and our units just kind of gave up on the attack. That happens occasionally. I wish they didn't. But we're actually doing well here. We need to continue this attack. Absolutely, we need to continue pressing this. We just stack wiped one of their units there, by the way. That's wild. They're currently leaving this. We don't have the organization to continue this attack. So they've brought additional reinforcements over here, I think. Yeah, they're definitely flowing new reinforcements through. We have to hold off on this attack for the moment. It's unfortunate. We almost had that there. That would have been huge if we had gotten that. But we need to hold off for a moment, and that's absolutely fine for right now. Now we have a couple of unassigned divisions here. So this division is going to go here. And then these two armored divisions, they're going to head on down. Perfect. Okay, so down here, the question now is, what is the state of this location? The answer is, it's not too bad. It's actually looking pretty vulnerable. Let's launch an attack once again right here. And right here. And let's see if we can push them out of here. I would really like to carve this up into two fronts. That would be unspeakably huge for us. So that would be absolutely fantastic if we were able to do that. They are bringing more reinforcements in, I think. No, they're not, actually. Well, maybe this guy's on the way in. So we've got more tanks on the way over here. That's not surprising. How are we doing on our tank count, anyway? That's, you know, net negative. But not by much. Okay. I'll toss more factories at it, but we don't have any to toss at it. So that is fine. That's absolutely noted. So this attack here is failing, but actually, maybe it's not. Okay, we just took this position. Again, that is huge. If we can take this position now, that's even bigger. But what we need to do right now is we need to dig in here. And we need to hold this position. So this is absolutely fine. We're not concerned about that. We just want to hold this position. They're completely cut off. They have to go by sea now. So that is very bad for them. So now what we want to do is we want to develop ourselves a new front on this side of this lake, ideally. But what do we got going on over here? Okay, noted. We do have this infantry division that we can press into service, and we absolutely want to do so. We'll send him on over to this front for now. That's fine. We're still working on training up our army groups, remember. So this is okay for the moment. And as of right now, I don't have any major concerns about this situation. We just need to hold on for the moment and start developing an advantage to the south. So here's another tank unit finished up. Beautiful. And this is what we want to see right here. Successful attacks this direction. So I'm going to grab this army and the units assigned to this front. And I'm going to order them that their goal for the moment is to offensive line like that. They will be protected on the flank primarily by this lake over here. So we'll get started on that, and we'll just start launching some probing attacks out over here to see what we can get done. If we can win this, they have 12 units retreating here right now. If we can win that, that's huge. But we have a long ways to go yet. So we have a research slot available, and I'm just going to grab improved oil processing. Oil isn't a problem for us, but it's fine. So if we can take this position, again, that's a very big deal. We're going to have to leave a force here unless we can also take this position. Let's see if we can launch an attack here. Okay, so we've managed to push down over this way. Once again, cutting them off here. Now, if they want to reinforce from here to here, they have to go all the way around this lake. So that is a very big deal for us, but it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work on taking over Africa. It's slow, grinding progress right now, but it's progress nonetheless. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.